Should the Chicago Bears move on from second-year wide receiver return man Velus Jones Jr.? Let's talk about it, people. What is going on? Yo, Faiz Sports back at it with another video talking, of course, NFL here to talk about the Chicago Bears. So if you're a Bears fan, please do hit that big subscribe button down below. It helps me out a lot. Best way to support the channel. Please make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, guys. As always, hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I drop a new video. All right, people. So I saw the Twitter world, or X, whatever it's called these days, just explode after the Bears game, or during even the Bears preseason game against the Titans, talking about Velus Jones Jr. and how he's a bust, how he needs to be cut, how Ryan Poles made a mistake, all of those things after his awful performance yesterday. And let's just be honest about it. It was awful, all right? He had a job to do, and he didn't do it. All right, so I want to talk about if it's time to move on and cut bait with Velus Jones Jr. And here is where I'm at right now. Thus far, he has not impressed me at all. I would say to you, he is absolutely, again, thus far, based off of what we've seen from him, been a bust based off of the draft capital that we took him at, the third-round pick. And from what we've seen from him, which is 5 games, so he hasn't been able to stay healthy throughout his career thus far, 5 games, and in those games, his numbers have been 7 catches for 107 receiving yards and a receiving touchdown, 103 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown. All right? Those are his numbers in 5 games. Again, receivers get these numbers in literally a game, more than this. But again, I digress. So let's talk about, moving forward, does it make sense to continue to give Velus chances? And to me, I want to focus specifically on his return game first, and then I will talk about him as the receiver. As far as return game, I will tell you this much. For the rest of preseason, Velus Jones Jr. can make mistakes and can try to learn from them. But the moment this happens in the regular season, folks, I promise you, the moment this happens in the regular season, we cannot give him more chances, and he is done as a return man. Absolutely done. He muffed 3 punts last year, and again in the preseason game, muffed a punt again. You cannot put your team as a head coach, talking Matt Eberflus here, in a position where clearly the guy that you want to do something isn't able to do it. You can't put your team in that position at a disadvantage with the player who cannot do his job properly. You just can't do that. All right, so preseason is one thing, the games don't count. And in fact, you want Velus to learn from this, because again, you keep muffing punts and you don't learn, you're going to be out of here. But hey, it's preseason. This is when you get an opportunity to learn. But the moment this happens in a regular season game, I think that's what it is. It's like I'm giving him one shot, and the moment it happens, it's over. Now, you might be thinking, Faiz, what if he's great for multiple games as a return man and then he messes up one time? Well, that's a different conversation. Maybe we could talk about that later. But I'm talking about if it happens in the regular season game early on and we haven't seen him do much as far as a returner, right? Return something for a touchdown, etc. I'm done with that. Now, moving on to him as a receiver. Folks, he's a 6 foot, 200-pound receiver, right? He is small. He is not a guy who you can look for in the red zone. He's a gadget guy, right? And so to me, I want Luke Getsy to see if he can find a way to utilize him. And there were plays last year. Again, his rushing and receiving touchdown, he was able to get that off of these end arounds, off of these, gadget type of plays. And that's where Velus is going to be able to take advantage, because he's got insane speed. Honestly, if it wasn't for his speed, he wouldn't be on a roster at this point, because of how, bad he's been everywhere else. His speed is his main thing. So you want to be able to utilize that. And so to me, I'm not saying to Luke Getsy force it. Not at all. But give him those, moments here and there to see what he can do. And if he can't do it at that point, or if he's not able to do it, then yeah, I'm okay with cutting bait. So basically, this is where I'm at. He's going into year 2. And I'd like to see him make the team and get some playing time in the regular season. But the opportunity, if he does not take advantage of it early on, I am more than happy with cutting bait. More than happy with cutting bait. Because to me, I am not trying to double down on my mistake. I don't care if he was a third-round pick. There's a bunch of third-round picks that bust. Obviously, if he was a seventh-round pick, I think he'd be gone by now. But you invested a high draft capital in him. This is a miss by Ryan Poles thus far. Let's just be honest about it. We have to be critical where we need to be critical. Ryan Poles thus far has missed on Velus Jones Jr. And I'm giving Velus one more chance to prove us all wrong. One more chance, all right? Whether that's as a return man or a receiver. Because to be honest, he could honestly just be taking one spot. Like he could be a backup receiver if he's not good as a returner and he hasn't been. Or he could somehow improve his return game and we never play him at receiver. But you got to be able to do something at an elite level. You can't be mediocre at both. And so if that is the case, it's over for Velus. All right? He's not a cat here. We're not talking about 9 lives. We're giving him one more life here. Let's watch what happens when the games count. And if he's able to, if he makes mistakes again, got to cut bait. Sorry, hurting the team. There's other guys that would, do your job much better that aren't third-round picks, but they'll, again, get the job done. At the end of the day, draft capital only matters so much. Can you get the job done? Tom Brady was a 6th-round pick. Can you get the job done? So to me, too much has gone into Velus Jones Jr. being a 3rd-round pick, and I'm saying that, based off the fact that I'm even saying, hey, one more chance, but it's preseason. That's why I have this feeling. If it was the regular season, I would feel completely different. It's preseason. Let's see what he does in the regular season, but it is not looking good right now. Not looking good right now. Wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't make the 53. Let's see what happens, but leave a comment down below, guys, with your thoughts. Is it time to cut bait with Velus Jones Jr.? Are you ready to move on? Or, just like me, one more chance? Just one more. As always, thanks for watching.